Your Ohio State Buckeyes had very little issue against Tennessee in the first round of the college football playoff, blowing them out 42-17 in a game that never felt out of hand for the Buckeyes. They jump out to a 21-0 lead. They allow 10 points in the second quarter. It's 21-10 at the half, and then it's a rout again. It ends up being 42-10 before Tennessee scores in very much garbage time. A dominant effort out of the Buckeyes in the first round of the CFP in an electric home game at the Shoe. How much fun did you guys have tonight? Which it is still tonight, although it'll be out after midnight Eastern time, but still. 1 to 10 in the comment section of today's show. How much fun did you have in Ohio State's win? Some takeaways from round 1 of the CFP, and then we'll talk Ohio State-Oregon as well at the end of the show today. I thought it was a great offensive game plan. I thought they did everything they wanted to do on offense. They came out attacking. We'll talk about Will Howard, talk about Jeremiah Smith later. They did not make the same Michigan mistake of going run the ball up the middle over and over again. In fact, they were pass heavy for the majority of that game. Now, they had some success on the ground, don't get me wrong, but I think Ryan Day, Chip Kelly learned their lesson from let's not try to run the ball over and over again against a pretty good Tennessee front, and they attacked through the air. And they had zero fear of anybody in that Tennessee secondary because they dealt and they cooked with Will Howard, who was fantastic in this game. 24 of 29, 311 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, which I still think was actually DPI by Tennessee on that play to Jeremiah Smith in the end zone that gave Tennessee a little bit of life before they got snuffed out later on. Also had 5 carries, 37 yards, the long of 12 that should have been 15, but the old turf monster got him. You get that play out of Will Howard, you will win the national championship. No doubt in my mind. You will win. That is fantastic quarterback play, especially compared to Nico on the other side, who really struggled. Howard was sharp. Devin Brown got to play. Julian Sayin, Lincoln got to play. They all got to play in this one. A dominant effort out of Ohio State. Dominant's a good one-word reaction. If you want to just go OH and people to reply IO, that's fine too. As far as I'm concerned, that still counts as one word, just multiple letters. One-word reaction to the Ohio State destruction of Tennessee. Let me know what the pinned comments of today's show. If the ad comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Next up, the number 1 ranked defense played like the number 1 ranked defense. They harassed Nico Iamaleava the entire game. He was 14 of 31 for 104 yards. He got sacked several times. He ended up carrying it, quote-unquote, 20 times in this game. You had, 12 tackles from Cody Simon. JT had 2 sacks, 2 TFLs. Jack Sawyer had 2 pass breakups, a sack and a half, a TFL and a half. Ty Hamilton, Tonic Williams. The guys were all over the field in this one. Caleb Downs looked sharp. Lathan Ransom was laying the lumber. Yeah, in total, 9 pass breakups on 31 attempts. That was awesome. The Ohio State defense was fantastic. Outside of really 1 drive. That was it. Yeah, garbage time. Peyton Lewis ran for like 60 yards. Whatever, who cares? Dylan Sampson got banged up. That benefited you. The leading receiver for Tennessee had 40 yards. That's it. The Ohio State defense, Jim Knowles, was locked in on how to stop the tempo for Tennessee. Hats off to the Buckeyes defense in this one. Today's show is made possible by PrizePicks. It's the best place to get real money sports action. With over 10 million members and billions of dollars in awarded winnings, PrizePicks has made daily fantasy sports accessible to all. You pick more or less on at least 2 players for a shot to win up to 100 times your cash. Run your game all season long on PrizePicks, America's number 1 daily fantasy sports app. We did get our Clemson, Texas PrizePicks to hit. The Ohio State-focused one did not. We got Will Howard right. If you had told me Will Howard threw for 311, I would have said, oh, yeah, we got Carnell Tate right, too. That did not end up happening. Bryant Wesco did not have a good day for Clemson. We did get Cade Klubnik and TJ Moore passing receiving yards earlier today. Nico did not have 1.5 TD passes, though. He had 2 rushing touchdowns, which Hey, you know what? OSU won. I'd rather that happen than hit the full-on project. I got the flex plan. It doesn't matter. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS to get $50 instantly once you play your first $5 lineup. They're giving away 2 free picks in December, $30+ million in rewards during Picks Mix. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use code CLNS over at prizepicks.com/CLNS to get $50 once you play your first $5 lineup. Number 4 takeaway. Jeremiah Smith is so stupid good. A couple of these are obvious, but I just want to enjoy the great play we saw tonight. 6 catches, 103 yards, 2 touchdowns. And there was the one play, the drag route, where like the safety has him dead to rights, and he goes, "Nope, I'm better than you." He's a true freshman. And there's a handful of receivers, if that many. Might even be like, is it 0? I don't know. There's not many better receivers in football right now than Jeremiah Smith. Some great throws from Will Howard. Hats off there. Don't want to discount him at all. But he is just a dynamic football player. Get him the ball as much as possible. Also, shout out to Emeka Buka. 5 for 81. Had a good game too. Lots of options here. I think I'd go Will Howard myself. Who gets the game ball for the Buckeyes? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Now, the Ohio State Buckeyes ran the ball okay. Quinshon Judkins only had 10 carries, 34 yards, 2 scores. Travion Henderson. I like his usage for Ohio State. Don't have to give him the ball 40 times. Like, you can keep that workload down. He's so electric. He finds creases. He finds space. He makes guys miss. 10 carries, 80 yards, 2 scores. Because, OSU had a lot of scores today in this one. Along with 29. Also caught 4 passes for 54 yards. You get the ball 15 times, and you're popping off for 130-plus yards. It's awesome. Henderson is my favorite running back on this team. No disrespect meant to Quinshon Judkins. I just think Henderson's better. Now, it is the Rose Bowl, which we'll preview here in just a second between Ohio State and Oregon. We will be live for that game. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out. YouTube.com/GoBucks. The CFP bracket currently sits like this. Updated. Rose Bowl, Oregon, Ohio State. We'll come back to that game more in depth. Peach Bowl, Arizona State, the 4 seed, the conference champion, getting the bye against a looking sharp Texas team. I think the left side of the bracket, by the way, much better than the right side of the bracket. I feel like the 3 of the 4 best teams left are on the left side of the bracket. That's what I feel like. Georgia, Notre Dame in the All-State Sugar Bowl. Notre Dame favored in that game, by the way. Boise State, Penn State, 6 seed Penn State, which again, because of the rankings and buys, big favorites. Texas, Penn State are big favorites. Georgia is a narrow favorite. And as of filming, Ohio State is a narrow favorite over Oregon. Spread in this one, as of filming, 1.5 in favor of the Buckeyes. Over under 53.5 in the Ohio State revenge game. That one went down to the wire earlier this year. Probably factoring in neutral site environments, the way Ohio State looked. They lost by 1 on the road against Oregon. It is a neutral site game, a game that, frankly, the Buckeyes probably should have won. That was a hell of a game. Hopefully we get another good one this time around. OSU's favored. It's a brief preview. I'm not surprised they're favored. You got to do exactly what you did against Tennessee. Have success on the ground. Will Howard, Jeremiah Smith. Defense plays well. This is the best game in the CFP quarterfinals because I think these are 2 of the 4 best teams left. It's the only matchup as such in the quarterfinals. Make sure you guys are subscribed. We will have a full live stream of it, plus a more in-depth preview later this week. Or I guess next week. It's going to be Sunday now. Hit that sub button so you don't miss out.